Trails in Florida start at the beach. Okay, so I'm out on the Ocean Lake Trail. It's 63 miles from the Atlantic Ocean to Lake Okeechobee. I've walked it a whole lot. This is really like my training grounds and, you know, where I come out to test new gear and all that other stuff. So on this trip, I am testing out the McConaughy Joey backpack. So far, it's a really nice backpack. Fits super comfortable, and I'm looking forward to maybe getting some running miles in it, because this is a backpack that is styled after running vests. And, you know, I think it's obvious it's kind of intended for a much faster, very lightweight hike. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun. So far, I really like this pack. I think if you have an extremely light kit, then this pack would be awesome for you. It's super comfortable. It's interesting having the water bottles up front. Like, maybe that distributes the weight nicely. You know, so instead of having like 4 extra pounds on your back, it's more so on your chest. Very interesting. Also, you know, if you're more of a runner instead of a backpacker, I think this could be kind of like the perfect thing for adventure races, multi-day stage races, or, you know, a really fast FKT where you're doing a little bit of running in between your hiking. But yeah, interesting pack, really unique. I'm not much of a runner myself, but as we know, I do like to go very, very light. So I'm gonna keep using it and see what I think. So the McConaughy Joey, it's definitely not a conventional backpack, but I don't think the people who are going to be using this are really conventional backpackers. Let's take a little look at this guy and see what makes him special. Well, here I will have some basic statistics for you, because I don't really know this stuff off the top of my head, but I know a lot of you really enjoy these types of things. Okay, so what do we think of this pack, the McConaughy Joey? Personally, I really like it so far, and even though this is modeled after like a running style vest that you can just fit a lot of backpacking gear into, I'm not a runner. I don't really plan on doing much running with this. If anything, this pack is going to maybe inspire me to do a little bit of running on my hikes. You know, just a little jog here and there, a quarter mile, half a mile, full mile, few miles, I don't know. Kind of the deal is, this pack can definitely do it. The interesting thing and the fun thing is it can do all the other stuff that my other backpacks can as well. So basically what makes this a good running pack, or a good pack for maybe a very fast through hike, or, you know, just someone with an extremely small kit, is that it's super secure up against my body. When running, it barely moves around at all. Held on the sides with these 2 straps here, obviously on both sides. It's got these super wide shoulder straps, super wide shoulder straps, and these 2 straps in the front, making for an extremely form-fitting feel. It doesn't bounce around at all. It doesn't really move. It just feels like it's almost one with my body. A lot of the day I was wearing it just without the shoulder straps, because again, I'm not a runner. I'm using this pack as a backpacker, which is its ultimate intention, to be used as a backpack for backpacking, just with that other option in there of, you know, going lighter, going faster, adding some running in, all these other stuff. So most of the day I was walking without the 2 sternum straps strapped, and it was just really nice and loose, and then every once in a while I would kind of strap in and either speed up or slow down or whatever, and it really changed the entire feeling of the pack just by strapping these 2 straps in. The other thing that really makes this into more of a running vest style pack is obviously the 2 water bottle holders on the front. Palante is certainly known for shoulder strap pockets, and these are much bigger than normal. You know, these I can actually fit half-liter bottles into. Personally, I've found these Ultimate Direction bottles to fit the best. Something like this Gatorade bottle, it's just not quite as smooth, even though it may be a little bit lighter. That may be a positive for you. You know, maybe you would want a bottle that fits a little bit tighter in there. One thing that I totally didn't expect with having the water bottles up front opposed to on the side is the weight distribution. I did not see that coming. 1 full liter weighs about 2.2 pounds, is now on my front that was on my back, essentially sparing my back 2.5 pounds and distributing that weight to the front. Taking this pack out for a trip, it was noticeably very comfortable, even though I was carrying 3 days worth of food and all the gear that I normally carry on a thru hike. It was a noticeable difference in comfort. I think a lot of this comes from these ultra wide shoulder straps, but also, I'm sure quite a bit of it comes from having 2.5 pounds up front on my chest instead of weighing down further on my back. Since this is so secure up against my body, it actually feels like, you know, a lot of the weight isn't necessarily on my shoulders. You know, like the sternum straps really help distribute it, and the side straps really help distribute it. So, do I like this pack? Yes, I absolutely like this pack. However, it is quite small. It is smaller than most, like, ultralight backpacks. Smaller than most very ultralight backpacks. One thing for me is, since this pack is really small, you know, I think it has its niche. It's gonna suit people best who have extremely light kits. Like me, I carry between 5 to 8 pounds. Now, how does that affect me on a long hike? Is just flexibility. Maybe you're an ultra marathoner. Maybe you like doing multi-day stage races. This is actually what I thought when I first saw this pack. I immediately started messaging ultra runner friends and friends that I know that do adventure races. I had messaged one of them immediately telling them, like, you need to see this thing. I think this would be perfect, because honestly on the market there's not a whole lot of stuff out there that is like this. So personally for me, what I'm going to be using this pack for is trips in the 50 to like 300 mile range. So other little things about this pack, just small details, is the straps themselves, they seem to have mesh on both sides, the same material on both sides, more so a mesh. Whereas a lot of packs out there, and a lot of the packs I've been using for the past few years, have mesh on one side, usually the inside, and then a much thicker fabric, probably gridstop or DCF, Cuban fiber, on the outside. I noticed that the straps breathe really well. I normally like break out on my shoulders, you know, just from sweat, just from carrying that weight on my shoulders all day, every day, and I noticed with this pack I didn't. You know, I think that mesh on both sides of the shoulder strap actually makes a big difference. Now, personally, how I was packing this pack, since I have my water bottles up front, I'm not really used to that, so this was kind of a whole new ball game for me. On one of the sides of my backpack here, I was carrying all of my food on, say, the left or the right. And then on the other side, I was carrying my food bowl, my little plastic cup for actually eating like my dinners and stuff. I like to have that at hand, just so when the end of the day comes, I can easily get to it, eat my food, and maybe get another couple miles in. Now, for me at least, normally the bottom pocket is where I keep all my food for the day. But I was actually keeping my camera in the bottom pocket, and it worked out fantastically. So that's something new for me, and just kind of interesting that I can get away with that instead of carrying the fanny pack possibly. I certainly need more testing. There are certainly lighter packs out there that you can buy. There are packs that are literally just a sack with 2 shoulder straps. Kind of the deal with Palante, or at least what I see with Palante and what I like about Palante, is this pack has extra features, like these water bottle pockets up front, or the bottom pocket and stuff like that. But these features aren't unnecessary. They're actually really useful, and there's not too many of them. So I think it's cool that Palante has found this balance between having extra features while still maintaining a really low weight product. So is this pack for everybody? No, I do not think it is, and I think even Palante would agree. I do think it has a really cool purpose, and I think for those that it would fit, you know, would really love this thing. So if you're gonna use this pack, I certainly recommend an inflatable pad or the 1/8 inch pad, just because those are gonna take up the least amount of volume in your pack. And with this one, I think volume is at a premium, and you really gotta kind of consider those types of things. However, my final verdict, again, I'm not really a runner, so I'm not even necessarily the target demographic for this pack, I think. As a hiker, I really liked it. I can't wait to get more use out of this pack, really see where it takes me, see where it goes. So far on this little hike I just did, it was really fun.